Watching Newslink on DSTV channel 403. Now, what's the worst part of being admitted to hospital? The bad food, the uncomfortable bed, the 6 a.m. tea wake-up, or it's simply being away from family and loved ones? Well, Discovery Health now has a solution. It's called Hospital at Home. It allows you to get hospital treatment in the comfort of your own home, surrounded by loved ones. Let's discuss this now with Ronald Whelan from Discovery. Ronald, thank you very much for your time this morning. I must say the story piqued my interest when I saw it. Hospital at Home. Just talk to us about this offering.
Firstly, thank you for inviting us on this morning. We're delighted to be with you. We're very, very excited about this program. Before COVID, we had already started providing a range of treatments in the comfort of people's homes, so wound care, various transfusion services and infusion services. And then in COVID, what happened was because of the shortage of hospital beds across the country, we needed to find a solution for members to be cared for at home. And that was really the birth of our Hospital at Home product. We're now in the process of expanding this particular service. We think it's a very, very exciting service for members. You're able to treat a range of conditions at home, including things like respiratory tract infections like pneumonia, skin infections, gastrointestinal infections, fluid overload, dehydration, and so on and so forth. We estimate around about 1 in 10 of Discovery Health hospital admissions could comfortably and safely be treated at home, given the advances of technology on this front. And as you rightly mentioned, there are numerous benefits for treating people at home, not least of which the experience benefits, as you say. It's much more comfortable to be at home, be close to loved ones and relatives and friends. But there are also significant clinical benefits for being treated at home. Unfortunately, going to hospital poses many risks. There are significant risks of getting another infection in hospital. There are significant risks of clotting disorders as a result of immobility. We see sleep disturbances, nutritional disturbances. We see increased falls. So hospital in many respects is quite an unsafe environment. In fact, we see hospital-acquired infections in up to about 20% of cases admitted to hospital. When you're then treated at home, you nullify all of those impacts. So there's obviously much less risk of an additional infection, much less risks of falls, much better sleep, much better nutrition, much better mobility. So significant clinical as well as experiential benefits of being treated at home.
Just for clarity, I gather that this is limited to members now, Discovery members for now. It's not something that has been perhaps open to others who might have financial ability to enjoy such a service or utilize the service.
Yeah, right now the benefit is available to Discovery Health medical scheme members across all the plans against their standard benefits, so it's immediately accessible. It's also available countrywide. We obviously have better capacity in a number of the urban areas, so Gauteng, KZN and the Western Cape, but we do have the nurses available countrywide. What happens is a nurse would come to your house, help you get set up, and then you'd be connected through very advanced remote monitoring devices to a 24-hour monitoring service that's manned by a specialist emergency room doctors. So you're actually monitored 24/7, and if anything were to go wrong, and that's very, very unlikely in most of these instances, given the screening criteria we provide, then we're able to bring in emergency services if required. But given our selection criteria, this is an extremely safe value proposition available to Discovery Health medical scheme members. We will expand it over time, so it will become available to a broader cross-section of the population, but at this stage, Discovery Health medical scheme members.
No, it's honestly amazing and quite convenient. But would there be any sophisticated facilities that are then installed in one's house? Or would you say as part of the criteria, you need to have perhaps a camera of your own that then you would be able to connect your own networks onto? How would it work? What is the criteria for me as an ordinary person who perhaps might be a member of Discovery?
No, we come in and we set you up end to end. So we will bring in all of the technology. The most important part of the technology is the remote monitoring technology, so that we're able to monitor your various vital signs. We have very sophisticated technology straight out of the US. We've been working very closely with the Brigham and Women's Hospital, which is one of the teaching hospitals for Harvard University in Boston, Massachusetts. They've developed technology which we've now deployed across South Africa. We also have virtual consultation technology, so you're plugged into what we call a member application, and the member application allows you to coordinate with your doctor and your care team on a 24/7 basis, so you're fully connected. And then I think importantly in the current South African context, we have all of the backups in place in terms of electricity and connectivity. It's obviously a tricky environment given our load shedding challenges at the moment. So we make sure that there's backup power, backup connectivity. And we've got all of the fail safes in place to make sure that you are fully connected. But we come in with the entire setup end to end.
No, honestly impressive. But insofar as your doctor is concerned, the process that many are accustomed to is that you would go to your GP, then the GP would then handle the part of the authorization if you need to actually be admitted in hospital. What would happen? Does somebody still go to the normal GP, and when they get all the documentation that they should be admitted, then they take the option of everything coming to their home?
That's an excellent question. So I think the first thing to mention is we're working very closely with doctors across the country. We have over 100 doctors now signed up to the Hospital at Home program. We're signing up doctors on a daily basis. We're hoping to get to close to 200 over the next 2 to 3 months. So it's important that you are referred into Hospital at Home by your doctor. Typically, the doctors are specialist physicians, specialist physicians who have admission rights into hospitals. And in this instance, it's physicians who would admit into Hospital at Home as well. There would be 2 channels for admission. The first one would be through your treating physician, who may say you need to be admitted. He or she thinks that the Hospital at Home environment would be better for you. They would then go through the authorization process, and we've streamlined the authorization process, similar to the hospital authorization process, but we have a dedicated Hospital at Home team for this. And then as soon as you're authorized for Hospital at Home, you would then get a care team who would come and get you fully set up. The second journey is we are working with casualty practices across the country. Casualty is obviously a big driver at hospital admissions, and the casualty practices through the specialist physician would be able to authorize you for Hospital at Home and get you admitted that way as well. I think it's also important to point out for your viewers today, if you are in hospital, there are options of early discharge as well. So instead of spending days on end in a hospital environment when you're recovering, a Hospital at Home is a very nice way to get an early discharge to continue your care and recovery at home.
No, it most certainly is. Dr. Whelan, thank you very much for your time. That's Discovery Medical Aid Chief Commercial Officer, Dr. Ronald Whelan. More news.